Welcome to Canadian Canvas, where every journey reveals the untamed beauty and rich stories of the Canadian wilderness. Our adventure begins on the sun-soaked plains of southern Saskatchewan in the heart of summer. The air is warm, the skies stretch endlessly above, and life quietly stirs around us. As we make our way along the rural highway, a sudden sign catches our eye: wildlife crossing. Moments later, nature makes its presence known. A red deer gracefully crosses the road, a fleeting glimpse into the wild soul of the prairies. It's a powerful reminder that these open lands are shared with countless silent travelers. From here, the landscape unfolds into a painter's dream: rolling fields of gold, scattered brush, and the occasional farmstead blending into the earth. The road winds ahead, and with each passing kilometer, the anticipation builds. We're heading toward a towering formation born of time and erosion. Castle Butte, a geological marvel nestled in the mystical Big Muddy Badlands. Its silhouette slowly rises on the horizon, majestic and still, like a sentinel guarding the secrets of the land. With every turn of the road, we get closer, not just to a destination, but to a story written in stone and shadow. As we draw closer, the flat prairie begins to break, rising gently, then dramatically, until suddenly, there it is. Castle Butte. Towering roughly 70 meters high, with a circumference of half a kilometer, this natural monument stands like a stone fortress rising from the earth. From a distance, it looks almost unreal, its steep, striated sides glowing in the sunlight, weathered by time and shaped by nature's quiet hands. This remarkable formation is composed mainly of sandstone and clay, woven with streaks of alkali and coal, some of which date back to the Paleocene epoch, over 60 million years ago. But Castle Butte wasn't built overnight. It was sculpted over thousands of years, as glacial meltwaters from the last ice age, over 12,000 years ago, rushed across this land, carving deep valleys and leaving behind dramatic formations like this. Its layered appearance reveals a story in stone, each stripe a different chapter in Earth's geological history. These patterns aren't just beautiful. They're records of volcanic ash, ancient seas, and long-lost riverbeds. As we walk closer, we begin to see the detail: ridges, grooves, ledges, and even caves, small hollows burrowed into the Butte's sides by wind and water erosion. Some of these caves served as shelter for wildlife, while others once offered hiding places for outlaws traveling the infamous Outlaw Trail. Yes, the Big Muddy Badlands were once the stomping ground for legendary figures like Sam Kelly and possibly even the Sundance Kid, who found refuge in the rugged terrain and remote caves like those hidden within Castle Butte. But this land holds far older stories, those of the indigenous peoples who lived here long before European settlers arrived. For many First Nations, Castle Butte was a sacred place, a spiritual landmark used for navigation, gatherings, and ceremonies. It remains a symbol of cultural memory, embedded with stories passed down through generations. During summer, like now, the Butte basks in golden light, with grasses whispering at its base and prairie hawks circling above. The dry air and heat cause sandstone to crack subtly, adding to its ongoing evolution. From up close, you can see tiny pebbles, even bits of coal, embedded in the surface, remnants of eras long past. In winter, Castle Butte becomes something entirely different. Snow settles into its ridges, creating sharp contrasts of white and brown. Ice wedges into its cracks, subtly reshaping its surface. Frost weathering accelerates erosion, ever so gently changing its face year after year. It stands resilient, but never static. Climbing to the top is not an official hike, there are no signs or paths, but adventurers can scramble up the natural slopes. The view from the summit? Absolutely breathtaking. A 360-degree panorama of endless prairies stretching to the horizon, broken only by distant coulees and other ancient landforms. Wind whistles across the top, and in that moment, you're connected to something far greater, an ancient land that still breathes, still shifts, still watches. You might spot the occasional sagebrush lizard or even signs of burrowing animals at the base. In spring and fall, migratory birds glide past, using the Butte as a navigation marker, just as humans have for millennia. Look closer and you'll notice natural textures, like rippled sand frozen in time, hardened into stone. The edges of the caves are soft and crumbling, reminding us of the Butte's fragility. Despite its size, Castle Butte is still vulnerable to weather, time, and human interference. That's why respectful exploration is so important. Visitors are welcome here between June 1st and November 1st, as the land is privately owned and closed in spring to protect livestock during calving season. So when you visit, you're stepping onto land that's still actively lived in and cared for. Drone shots or panoramic views reveal the Butte's isolation, how it stands alone in the vast prairie, an island of rock in a sea of grass. It's this solitude that adds to its mystery and majesty. As the sun begins to dip toward the horizon, shadows deepen along its ridges, and Castle Butte takes on a different character, more solemn, more stoic. It becomes not just a destination, but a monument to survival, shaped by fire, water, ice, and time. It's a place to stand still. To listen. To imagine the ancient glaciers. The galloping horses of outlaws. The whispered prayers of elders. The wind weaving through stone. Castle Butte doesn't speak in words. It speaks in silence, in shadows, in stone. And if you're quiet enough, you might just hear what it has to say. And beneath your feet, the earth holds memory, compressed, silent, and ancient. Each step atop Castle Butte is a step across epochs, where dinosaurs once roamed the prehistoric wetlands and mastodons may have passed long before any map was drawn. Even the wind seems to carry memory here. Locals say that on still days, you can hear the prairie sing, a low, constant hum echoing through the gullies and sandstone hollows. It's no wonder indigenous oral traditions describe these lands as alive, listening, and sacred. At night, the true magic awakens. Far from city lights, the Butte transforms into one of the most breathtaking stargazing spots in the province. The Milky Way arches overhead, and shooting stars trace arcs across the sky, as if nature herself were painting in real time. And just beyond the visible surface lies more mystery. Beneath Castle Butte, geologists suspect there are deposits of ancient lignite coal seams, fossilized vegetation from swamplands of long ago. They speak to the region's hidden energy, once fueling industries and now sleeping beneath layers of clay. For artists and photographers, Castle Butte is a living canvas. Every angle offers a new mood, a different play of light and shadow. In the golden hour, its striated cliffs glow with reds and ochres. In stormy weather, the skies behind it turn steel gray, transforming it into a foreboding silhouette against the elements. Just as we admire the scale of Castle Butte, life stirs quietly below. Meet one of its smallest residents, the gopher. More accurately known as the Richardson's ground squirrel, this curious little creature is a familiar sight in southern Saskatchewan. You'll often spot them darting across open fields or popping their heads from underground burrows. They're fast, alert, and highly social, often chirping out sharp warning calls to their colony when a hawk or fox is nearby. But the gopher is just one of many creatures that call this harsh yet beautiful landscape home. In the skies above, you might see red-tailed hawks, Swainson's hawks, and prairie falcons, circling and scanning the land. These birds of prey rely on the open terrain for hunting. Closer to the ground, white-tailed deer and mule deer graze at dusk. Coyotes trot along the coulees in early morning light, blending into the brush. In spring, you may even hear the distinct trill of meadowlarks, whose song is like a soundtrack to prairie life. During wetter seasons, frogs gather near low-lying marshes, and badgers dig burrows in search of rodents. And if you're lucky, or very quiet, you might catch a glimpse of the swift fox, a rare and once endangered species being reintroduced to this region. This ecosystem, though it may appear quiet at first glance, is alive with movement, sound, and survival. Each species has carved out its place in this unique environment, adapting over generations to the wind, the seasons, and the sculpted terrain of the badlands.